Hey everybody, Johnny Disc Golf back again with another off-season interview. This time I am joined by newly minted Team Discmania player, Mr. Gavin Babcock. How we doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Well, how does that feel? I mean, I know you haven't been on tour for a long time. You kind of came in with the Prodigy backing, but now this is like the first, kind of making headlines contract that you've signed. So, what are the feels like? How do you feel on the inside?
Yeah, I mean, you saying that it just like it. I like the sound of it, and yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I've been testing out some new molds and everything, and yeah, after last year is my first full year on tour, and I do think that full year made a huge difference compared to that half a year in 2021. And I mean, this is like the hardest I've worked this off season, so I'm just kind of excited to be in this new environment and see how it pays off.
No, I love it, and I love to hear you saying this is the hardest I've worked. Every every kind of era of disc golf, like class of rookies or something, I feel like works harder than the previous class of rookies, and it's just going more and more in that direction. So I love to hear it. We're gonna get into a little bit more of the contract stuff here in a sec, but let's kind of just bring it back. It's the off season. Generally, pro disc golfers have two different modes in the off season. Either it's like, I'm Valerie Mondojano, I'm grinding, there's contract negotiations, working out every day, going here to there. Or it's like, James Conrad, I bought a school bus, I'm just hanging out, renovating it, ripping it out, doing my thing. So where do you fall in that spectrum? How's your offseason been?
I definitely am more of in that grinding stage. I mean, I've heard that Ricky hasn't thrown a putt or thrown a disc since Disc Golf Pro Tour finale. So, I mean, with someone like him who's done it so long, they can hammer that out to give themselves rest, hammer it out in 2 weeks, and be set for the season. But I've been actively working on my backhand. I can't remember when it started, but my local sponsor challenged me to like 10,000 putts, made putts before I leave. So I'm like getting close to ending that, and then I've gotten more into calisthenics and yoga, so a lot more body weight stuff because I was big into lifting, but it's kind of I realized how tight and not really loose I was, so been more body weight and yoga and yeah, and really just form stuff. But yeah, that stuff on repeat
Well, I mean,
every
hey,
day. I
that's
got a net in my basement, and
that's what I
yeah.
was going to ask. It's cold. You're in Iowa, right? Where are you based out of? Are you back at kind of parents' house hanging out for a few months? What's the logistics of the off season look like?
Yep, yeah. At the house I grew up in, and then I'm right outside Des Moines. I live like 30 minutes from Pickard, so
Oh,
I'm
easy.
actually gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go play there today. And but yeah, it's pretty cold. That we've gotten lucky. It's gonna get up to like 40 today. But I'm a big like I don't care how cold it is. I'll play as long as there's not really snow on the ground because I don't mess with like that bad footing. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, I have a net in my basement and then can putt up to like 40 feet. So I've just been doing that.
Perfect. I love it. It's almost it's like a vaguely similar to Gannon's setup where he has like the basement practice zone and he's just like jamming the same putt over and over again for like years. It's great. Um,
Yeah.
the the difference I kind of want to touch a little bit on the difference in training. You just mentioned it. You said you used to be big into like lifting and proper like weight training, and now you're shifting into more like mobility and like balance and flexibility. What's been like the biggest shift in, well, like you used to be a D1 wrestler, and that was like a serious cardio and workout and get your body ready, but disc golf is just not that world. Um, how have you been able to like transfer that discipline into disc golf?
I say real quick, D3. I don't want to
Oh,
take the credit
D3.
where I
No,
didn't, but
respect.
either way, um, I I just realized like it was really hard because like in wrestling and all that like I've always had a hard time working out without just like murdering my body because that's always what like working out and lifting was like if you it wasn't just crazy hard and just like the last rep is just like everything you got, then it was like you feel like you didn't really accomplish much. And so I've been trying to get used to just doing like a 30-minute workout that doesn't just tank my body for the day, but it's like a good full body, a lot of core, body weight, and just get that full range of motion. And
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean, so it's been a lot of like kind of talking with myself to realize that it's okay to. I mean, this is I have to be an athlete for disc golf now, not for wrestling. So I probably going to lose a little bit. And like, I mean, calisthenics still works it pretty good. But like, I'm probably going to lose a little bit of mass and still just maintain the strength, but that's okay, cause I'll make up for it in flexibility. So I just have to like tell myself that I'm an athlete for disc golf now,
Mhm.
not for wrestling.
No, it's honestly it's very commendable because in disc golf we're all our own coaches and we're all more or less our own motivators, right? And it can be tough. I know from experience just being on tour for athletes to go every single day and keep up that physical regimen. So I honestly I love it. I love to hear the like discipline of it all. Um, let's shift a little bit to the new deal, right? You've left behind Prodigy. I'm sure a lot of good memories and a lot of good support, but we're moving now to Team Discmania, which there are not a ton of players who are sponsored by Discmania. It's like one of the more kind of boutique brands. Just top to bottom, all the top players. They're just is probably less than any other brand. What drew you to them, or were they drew to you? Like, how did that all come together?
Well, I mean, they've always had that premium plastic of just like that's kind of their thing is it's just high quality. And so I mean that I've heard that they treat their team extremely well. The communication's great, and that's my biggest thing is like communication of whatever team I was involved with, just parent, whatever. Like if you're running late to practice, just communicate that. It's fine, and just like just nonstop. And I mean, so far it's been amazing. And I've also have always been drawn to that like the smaller team feels like I could like even wrestling like I could it was between like Iowa State and like D3, and I just didn't like wrestling enough. Team is too big, didn't want to, and I thought I could make an impact on like a smaller team and get real close with the guys. And the visit was just that small team feel. Everyone could really get to know each other better, and same with like the higher ups. And I just felt like that's kind of a good transition to keep that small team feel, not just be another number,
Mhm.
and try to make an impact.
No, it's very true, and obviously through your play last year, I think most people would say you're on track to be making that impact with plenty of really great finishes and just overall like more or less consistent play throughout the season for somebody who's so early in their career. But what's like the difference in deal, in sponsorship, in contract between what you were working with at Prodigy compared to now? Like it was probably more of a starter contract. Let's get you out on tour, throw some gear and logos on you from Prodigy. But like, what is this new? How do the two contracts differ? What was the upgrade, if you will?
Yeah, I mean this will be the first time I'm getting a disc, and so haven't quite earned like that signature series like the Lone Howl stuff where you
Mhm.
kind of get to fully take that on. But I'll be getting a Shield Series disc this year, which will be like available on their website, and I'm super stoked about that. Just never had like any disc for sale through the manufacturer at all, and but that's probably like the main difference. Still, just getting stuff like monthly and disc allotment, gear
Mhm.
allotment, and entry fees and stuff. But yeah, I think that disc is going to be a big uh, factor. And I mean, we're kind of doing the 1 year because I mean, I was kind of getting close to being that signature level player and for the signature disc. And I mean, I fully understood. They're like, we don't want to trap you in this
Mhm.
contract, like, because we think you're close. So it's kind of like a prove it year. So play good, earn it, and then we'll be set for next year.
I love it, and hence all the grinding, all the backhand work. Earn it. No, I love the mindset. Um, Biggest question for me, at least visually, What happens to the van, man? There was a big Prodigy star on that thing, big Gavin Babcock. Are you going to be in a new van? Are you going to be in the same van? Maybe wipe the wrap? What's the story there?
It's already rewrapped.
Oh,
It's already
wow.
rewrapped. I know. I did
Wow.
that. Got that Friday. Got that Friday. Yeah, it's sick. I'd say I could probably run over there and flip
Gimme,
the
let's
camera for
go.
you if you
Let's
want.
go.
All right,
Let's go.
deal.
Oh, this is so awesome. Give me the dates on this. Did you send it to them? Did you have to did they did you do it in town basically or
It's like 30. Oh, there it is. It's like 30 minutes away, and it's,
as Gavin here switches from his Wi-Fi to his cellular data. Here we go. He's back.
I know. There we go. All right. Flip.
Oh my goodness. Look at
Yeah,
this.
got the new logo on there, and got the polo pattern
Oh my
all
oh my
around.
gosh, I see it now. Dude, this
Yeah,
turned out so good.
yeah. I'm super super stoked. It's weird seeing pink instead of green and blue, but
Yeah.
and then got the logo on the front on the hood too. But
Dude, that came out so nice, man. I'm stoked for you. This is so cool. I think that's an iconic look too. It doesn't have like the full body wrap on it too, so it's like, it's a little subtle too. I mean, granted it's
yeah,
pink like
just
cheetah
like a
print, but
yeah. I mean, bright colors and stuff, but it's not like, I mean, it's still loud, but not as loud as a full on wrap.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just like that signature kind of pattern that that I kind of created through last year.
No, totally. So that is still a small van. Gavin, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
How has it been, or is there any plans to upgrade to something bigger? Do you like kind of the low profile? You can still go to drive-throughs in this. You can't in a big Sprinter. There's give and take.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, things done so much work for me already just in these like last 2 years I've had it, but I just hit 160,000 miles on it yesterday, or not yesterday, it was like a couple days ago, but yeah, gonna get one more year out of it and shouldn't have any problems, fingers crossed. And then plans to upgrade for next year, as long as, I mean, this year just goes good and I got some other things lined up, I think, throughout this year that will help with just kind of saving up for a new van. But yeah, this should be the last year in that thing before I get something that I can actually stand up in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's something that people really they take for granted, or I don't know how yours is configured, but like sitting up in your bed, like some people,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's
No,
probably
no.
no sitting up, right? Yeah, so
No. It's like something like this every time I sit up. I mean,
no.
I literally, like, sleep is a big thing, so I have a full size like twin bed that's my mom's friend hooked up. It's like super nice. I think it's nicer than my bed that I have here. It's so comfortable. But that's like literally the whole back basically. I have like a cabinet and room for my cart and bag, like passenger backside door. But yeah, I mean, it's all bed and storage underneath. So if I'm in there, I'm either sitting in the front seat or I'm in bed.
Oh, I love it. It's so funny. I love the variety. I mean, it's like a lot of similar situations with the disc golfers, but just the variety in like van homes that we all have
Oh
is
yeah.
is one of the best parts about being on tour, honestly.
I
Um,
know everything's so simplistic, but like, yeah, you can do it so many different ways. It's
oh
cool.
yeah. And it's so like player specific too. Like, you clearly it's like that's a workmobile. You're sleeping, you got discs, and that's about it, Whereas like Conrad
Yeah,
now bought the school bus, he's renovating. He's gonna have like a palace on wheels this whole season. It's gonna be ridiculous.
yeah,
Let's talk about last year a little bit because, like you said, it was your first year on tour. Your play last year is really what earned you this new contract, put you on the map for the most part. Um, how do you feel like it went? Like, what's your honest review of your 2022 season?
I mean, overall, it was. I think it's exactly what I needed. I never really like am one to regret stuff or anything because everything happened for a reason. So I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, the all three of the major finishes that I had were like my highlights on top of the skins ace that got me a lot of views and just kind of put my name out there. And I mean, got on coverage for the first time like this year and multiple times. And yeah, I mean, but then I also had some just awful events. So I mean, it's one of those where this year I'm looking to still have those awesome finishes, but eliminate those really bad. I mean, there's no reason this year that I should be having finishes like that. But I mean, I was also doing some stupid stuff where I was in the middle of the year and I was like trying to actively work on my backhand and like trying to change some stuff. And I mean, I don't regret it because like you make that mistake once and never going to make that mistake again. So it's just a lot of trial and error, learn, know that I can't do that again, and just got to roll with what I got unless I have like a 3-4 week break. And yeah, so I mean, I think this year is going to be set up a better game plan, better warm up routine, better workout. I think overall it's going to be a good year.
No, I totally hear you. I mean, moving the floor of the results up, is probably the most important goal that anybody, especially like a young player on tour, should have, right? Like, you had some great pop off performances, but yeah, just like eliminating the 70ths or the whatever the number may be. I totally hear you on that. What about the old crew? Last year, a lot of times we'd be all staying, or I wouldn't this year, but you guys would be all staying on site. I'd see you hanging around with Gannon, Alden, all the young Luke Sampson, that whole crew. A lot of prodigy players. Isaac probably to a degree. Is that still going to be the crew, or are you going to be like, you know what? I'm over here with Kyle Klein now.
Well, no, I mean, I've have people like message me and comment on my stuff, just like, oh no, hope to still see you in the Alden vlogs. Oh, are you still gonna? And every time I just like I don't change the response. Every time I say sponsorships don't determine friendships, and so it's not a prodigy thing or whatever. It's a Alden vlog thing, and we're all. I mean, we didn't get along just because we're on prodigy. We just happen to be on the same team and we all just like hanging out and being around with each other, and it's a good group. So that group I don't foresee changing, but I do hope to, like, Kyle and I had plans a couple times to just like get a practice round in or something last year, and never. I think we might have ended up once, but a few of them just kind of fell through. And so I would like to just get a round in with some people on Discmania too, and just be around people throwing the same stuff as me as well.
Have you spoke with many of the team Discmania players? I mean, like, there's obviously Discmania has been in the news lately, for you and for someone else leaving. But like, have you spoke to any of the team members? Has there been like oh, bro, stoked to have you on the team? Like, what's the reception been like from everyone?
Yeah, it's been super cool. I've had some team members I've never like met before reach out, but then Colton Montgomery, I've kind of slowly been getting a little closer with him too over the years. We got some practice rounds in last year, and I like him. Him and Connor are great people, and he was one of the first ones to reach out. I mean, Kyle reached out. Eagle sent me a message. Niklas. I mean, everyone that you can think of really took the time to reach out, which was pretty cool.
No, that is really cool. It's great to see everyone at least like, I don't know. I mean, there are teams, right? Manufacturer teams on tour, but for the most part, it's not a team sport. And you see these people at a team dinner or on the course a few cards away. But I love the idea of like a general culture of like the team elements. Like, that's the one thing I'm missing from disc golf that I just haven't quite found, is like that team element, which I had in my like more other sports days. So
yeah, and that's what I've been saying. I was saying this all last year. I think that is where a lot of people are, and players even, are messing up, is because like I do come from like an individual sport, but we're also a team. Like, yeah, you can have the team aspect, but like if I got 5 guys at 197 and we're all in the room practicing together, wrestling each other like every day. And then that weekend it's like an open tournament and I got to wrestle one of my guys. Like we're gonna go all out there, but right after we're gonna go back to being brothers. And so like I don't see why team like it can't be more of a team environment, like practicing and doing all kinds of other stuff. And then yeah, the weekends, I mean you guys are against each other and stuff, but it is just the team aspect is just to continue to push each other and like there were times last year where I'm at like I might have a bad tournament like at GMC didn't make the cut, went and caddied for Isaac. Like I can't, then let's get like a win for Prodigy. But now, I mean, this year if something happened, let's get a team win for Discmania. It's like I don't think a lot of guys think like that, where it's like they're like, oh, I'm done, I'm on to the next tournament. It's like I'm done. Like what can I do to just make something easier for a guy on my team? Like it is a team, but people really are just like I don't think understand that.
No, and I think honestly, I think like that comes through the most, or at least when I think of that, I think like Thomas Gilbert, Gannon, you, Isaac, Alden. Like I don't want it to say only those Prodigy guys, but like truly that is like I see those people carrying each other's bags and like crewing it up more than any other crew. So, you know, the fact that you're like in that crew as well, it speaks volume. Like I appreciate that sentiment on tour. So yeah, that's cool. Backing off disc golf because, you know, we could sit here and talk Discmania and Frisbees all. Actually, no, pause. I take that back. One little thing. Give me some discs, man. You've been throwing one letter and number combination. Now we're to a different letter and number combination.
Yeah.
What has been like piquing your interests? What's your favorite in the bag so far?
Oh, I mean, it's been awesome. People have been just hooking me up, sending me stuff, and so molds are slowly starting to come in. But they sent me a black mystery box, so I just opened that this morning and filmed like just a short little unboxing of what I got. But I finally got a few like straight understable fairways. I'm gonna go try out today. Mm-hmm. But I mean, DD3s, Cloudbreaker, like the Cloudbreaker on forehand, like I've been throwing like 430 foot just like where I want, and it's nice. I mean the discs just go far, but MD3s, I've been liking the P1 for just point and shoot putter shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, FD3s. I'm finally understanding the hype about a PD. I've never thrown those until now, but I've tried out so many different stabilities. I got like 2 in the bag right now that are just like, yeah, it's a game changer. I always thought 10 speed, like not having thrown it was like a kind of an awkward speed to like use, but they're so far, and it just is like such a controllable feel. And
yeah. And they're very torque resistant, especially like for high level players. Yeah. PDs are like incredibly torque resistant, where like my arm speed, I haven't found like a slightly lighter weight. I had like a swirly S-line one that was really nice for me, but like a new C-line PD, no business throwing for me. You know what I mean? But like for a high level player and somebody who can, you know, spin the disc a little bit, very torque resistant. And I think like, you know, Colton, some of his like farthest shots are with PDs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. I got like a little flippier one and a beefy one, and then yeah.
What are you putting with by chance?
Links.
Oh, links. Okay, cool. Yeah,
links.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it was a little. I've always putted the beaded putter, and I like the shallow feel. I putted with KCs back in the day, and then switched to PA3s, and now that they're a little rounder than what I had been putting with, but. Like I just have like a bunch of putters in my basement, and I picked a PA3 up that my stepdad had put off the ground, and I was like, it's getting to the point where it doesn't feel as good anymore, which means I'm getting used to the links, which is a good sign. So I'm really starting to like those, and they're flying nice.
Well, from one equipment to the other, real quick before I get you out of here, I want to talk about the craze that's sweeping the disc golf nation during backups all over the course, and that's Kendama.
Let's go.
Eagle
Yes.
Eagle announced that he had a signature Kendama coming out, but I know that I at least saw you playing Kendama well before I ever saw Eagle fiddling with it. So, you know, real quick, we are running out of time, but talk about Kendama, your relationship with it, and why it's so cool.
I mean, Kendama is amazing. It is a community so similar to disc golf, and the hand-eye coordination. It's like so thrilling when you hit a trick. Like my first spike, I was like, "Why did that just give me that rush?" And so it's just something I can grind, keep my brain warm up before putting, keep it on backouts. I don't like getting on my phone or anything. And yeah, and I swung through. They're based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I swung through their warehouse in 2021 on the way to Preserve, and they just happened to be big disc golf fans. And then they came out and caddied for me, hooked me up with a promo code, and then I was a Sweets ambassador. And then they sent me a message like, "What do you think about like if we tried to get Eagle?" I was like, "That would be a sick first pickup," because they have a Sweets mob, which is people that are pro and something else, but now like get their own signature Kendama. So they have BMX riders, musicians, rollerbladers, you name it, and they wanted to get into disc golf, and so yeah, Eagles Kendama turned out sick, and may or may not be in the process, but
No, I love it. It's
yeah,
almost like
yeah.
it's like a I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You know, you got Eagle the Kendama hookup, he got you the Discmania hookup. I see how it goes. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Now it'd be cool to, yeah. I mean, I sent him a message like we need to jam some Dama next time like we see each other. But yeah, I mean it's sick to see how much some of the other players too liked it. I mean, Marweed kept like every time he saw mine, like kind of wanting to try it, and then I like just sauced him one, and he was super stoked. And then he'd be like, "Oh, dude, I got big cup, small cup spike the other day," and like next time I saw him, like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
So it's pretty sick to see it slowly kind of spread, but yeah, it's such an underrated little tool just to keep your mind warm and
Totally. It's like a fidget spinner energy where it's like gives you your mind something to do while you're thinking about something else, or yeah. Yep.
yeah.
No, it's like sweeping the media too. I know Trent, our 1100 rated drone pilot, is like obsessed.
He's a baller, yeah,
Yeah.
because he had been playing for, I mean, a couple years before I had, and he was just
Yeah.
yeah, he can do some insane stuff. But it was cool that like it's one of those things that once you get into it and like once you know about it, you see it a lot more places and you notice it. And I mean, I got into it, and then he was like just going in. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you're an animal. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, that's so good. But I appreciate your time, man. This has been like an awesome experience just having the conversation. It's gone really smooth. That's pretty much all I have for my end, though. I wanted to give you a chance to say anything you wanted to the fans. Like, you know, you're fresh face to Discmania. You got anything to say to the Discmaniacs out there?
I mean, thank you guys so much for the support. It's been all the messages. It's been unreal. My phone's been so busy, and I try to get back to. I don't think I've missed a comment on my posts or messages or anything. I've been trying to get back to everyone because I think that's important. And yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. I mean, people have been hooking me up with old. I mean, someone gave me a Doombird 2 the other day for free, like unthrown. And it was like it's like $120 disc, and they're like, you don't need to be doing that, but they just want to support, and I'm very appreciative of all that. I think just the fan base and everything already has been awesome.
No, 100%. One of the best fans, like the community out at Discmania, they're so supportive. Everybody holds on to those old, sweet, boutique discs and then seems to give them to new players. I don't know, or new signees. So it's like hard to argue with that. If you do happen to come into any old CD2s and they don't happen to fit your arm slot, I'm happy to take one or two off your hands. Not saying you have to, but I'd appreciate it.
I know that was the oldest disc in my bag way back. I had one in my bag for like 3 years when I was just throwing whatever, and I lost it under the leaves one day. So I'm excited to. I mean, the CD1 is like filling the CD2 slot now. So, but yeah, I mean, if I get any old CD2s and they don't happen, I'll make sure to brush them on over.
Yes. Oh, man. Thank you so much again, Gavin, for your time today. That's about all I have for this interview. For all of you at home, if you would like coverage of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks again to Gavin for taking the time to chat with me today, and thank you for checking out On Tour. DGN's big staple release this offseason has been a ton of fun to put together. myself, as well as a host of other people with the DGN, have worked tirelessly this entire season, and frankly, a large portion of the off season, to bring you 6 episodes of awesome, really like docu-series content. It's some of the best production that I've been a part of, and truly the thing I'm probably most proud of, that I've put together so far. So if you could, check it out, and really any social buzz and feedback you could provide would be awesome and much appreciated. Thank you.